Well, the Department of Home Affairs has come under fire as one of those responsible for allowing the Bushiris to escape. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs was informed that the Bushiris were in possession of multiple passports and did not hand them in as instructed by the court. Well, Home Affairs Minister, that's Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, told the committee that his department cannot trace all the corrupt officials at the country's porous borders. The committee members have slammed a government security cluster for failing to detect the Bushiris and their ultimate escape, which was clearly planned, and the move now to try and apprehend them is underway. Joining us now is the former Home Affairs Director General, Dr. Mavuso Msimang. He joins us on the line. Dr. Mavuso Msimang, thank you very much for your time. I want to start off with this element which came out on one of our morning shows, in fact our morning show this morning, where Minister Motsoaledi is interviewed and he says that the Bushiri children leaving the country just days before their parents made the great escape, it was not an issue to be alarmed about. And then in the same question, he says he only got informed about it, that these children left just days before, only now. Why should South Africans take Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi seriously?
Wow, that is a really difficult one. In the first instance, given the history of this man, the behavior of this shepherd Bushiri and his wife, he really should have been considered a flight risk right from day one and should not have been allowed days. The Home Affairs knew that he had 5 passports, and you wonder what kind of human being has as many as 5. People do have 2 passports so that when they submit one to travel to a country that requires a visa, they have another one that they can use in the meantime, etc. 5 just raises suspicions right there. I heard the Minister Motsoaledi saying that the last time the Bushiri passport was stamped was in January 2019. So I think there has been an element of recklessness. I think by the entire crime prevention, justice, security cluster, because it's clearly a security risk. It has always been. The departure of the children before should also have raised suspicions, and I think there's been some negligence here.
Dr. Msimang, you raise a very fundamental question, which is what the minister has been saying all along, of course, up until the question around children arose this morning, and that is that they refused this couple bail as a department when they were involved in that 2-week-long bail application. They feared, he says, that if granted bail, the Bushiris would definitely escape this country. But I want us to just take a listen to what Dr. Motsoaledi said. I want us to listen to his exact words about this issue surrounding the children.
The Bushiris children left the country like any other child, and they were accompanied by an adult. And at that time, we did not know, as head office of Home Affairs, we detected now on the movement control system. There was no reason for border officials to suspect anything when children accompanied by an adult are inside the plane. It occurs all the time, and with a letter. It will have done concerns for the ministries if the officials at the borders informed us, but they never did. We're using the electronic movement control system. We are detecting that on the movement control system, and I'm saying any official in the normal course of events finding 2 children leaving the country accompanied by an adult would not have thought anything about that problem, because at the time they left, it was before the Bushiris were given any bail.
Dr. Msimang, as a South African, as an ordinary South African, I'm asking myself the question, does Minister Motsoaledi deserve to be in his job right now?
He's a good man. I have to say that what we're saying, you as an ordinary South African and I as an ordinary South African are not speaking with wisdom after the fact. Absolutely, I would be extremely suspicious to see a Bushiri child crossing the border with or without their parents. That should have arisen some raised hackles. It should have been. Unfortunately, and one must be very careful here because there are so many, I think 99% of the staff at Home Affairs are not corrupt. But you know, there is also this element that they could go through an immigration, a border point, entry point, exit point, by wangling their way through, you know, driving somebody and they go across. That is a possibility that cannot be ruled out. But clearly I am very discomfited to understand that the children left and no one got suspicious about that. It shouldn't be like that.
Let me ask you the question then, Dr. Msimang. As a man who ran that department as a Director General, that's the accounting officer, you were the CEO of Home Affairs many, many years ago, and you were lauded as having turned it around. Maybe we're being unfair to Minister Motsoaledi. Make us understand perhaps the kinds of questions that we should be asking of them around an issue like this when they were well aware that the entry into this country from the get-go was always illegal. Yet these people remained here and they even did business.
Yeah, that should not have been allowed, to be honest with you. Anybody found illegal in the country ought to be arrested and deported if they are deportable to a particular country. I am absolutely amazed the more I hear about the story of the Bushiris. Their illegal existence in South Africa is an indictment on our security agencies. It's very difficult to explain this to anybody. I understand he even applied for permanent residency. I don't know whether he was given that. He should not have been here in the first place and should have been chased out of the country without any doubt.
Yeah. Final question to you, and you say he should have been chased out from the moment he got in here. The report suggests that he was actually thrown out of one of our neighboring countries, Botswana. I suppose for whatever reasons they may have been there, yet here he finds comfort and actually amasses millions of rands doing business. Final question to you. What responsibility should be shouldered by the police and the South African Defence Force, because they form part of what is called the security cluster of ministers or departments?
You could also add the Department of Security, which is headed up by Ayanda Dodo.
Yes.
They are also a very integral part of this cluster. You know, we are a member of SADC. Botswana has been quite strict about how it handles immigration matters. Bushiri, having such a huge presence and following in South Africa, should have really been on the eye of the security agencies in this country. The police, for sure, Home Affairs, all members of that cluster, well, at least those key departments in the cluster. There is no easy explanation to the public how this person has remained for as long as he has untouched. I cannot understand how that can have been.
And that's why, Dr. Msimang, I cannot forgive you. I can't agree with you at all when you say he should keep his job. That's Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, because he's a good man. I mean, what has happened here is sheer incompetence.
It's not for me to decide who remains in cabinet or otherwise.
All right. Dr. Mavuso Msimang, thank you very much for making time to speak to us. Also, a veteran leader of the ANC.